And hello, everybody. Hope you're all staying safe during this quarantine. And thank you all for tuning in to Thunderbird Eye on CITR 101.9 FM. Now, it's pretty clear that in our current situation, university sports have undergone some drastic changes. But what's often overlooked is how it's affected online esport teams. So today, we'll be diving into the world of UBC Esports and how its community is holding up. My name is Byron Wang, and with me here today is my twin brother, Alan Wang. And we're joined here by current Smash Director of the UBC Esports Association and the third ranked player in the UBC Power Rankings for Smash Ultimate, Nick Reydon. Joined with him is the creator of the new UBC Mario Kart Esports Community and currently fourth worldwide for the game Phineas and Ferb across the second dimension, Sydney Harakal. Welcome to the show, guys.
Yo, thank you for that glamorous introduction. I love that.
Yeah, and just a little bit of information on what an esport is to viewers. So generally, for a game to be considered an esport, it needs to be well-funded, and it needs to have a competitive community of players where prizes are available to the players who place the highest. Many of you are familiar with the games Super Smash Bros. And Mario Kart. However, you may be surprised to find out that these games have very competitive communities within them. And to start things off, Nick, do you mind explaining a bit about yourself, such as when you became Smash Director and what led you to take the position?
Well, I recently became Smash Director at the middle of the summer. I took the position pretty much, so
Also
like
pretty recent.
mid-quarantine. And what led me to take the position is I was an executive in the club for 2.5 years already at that point, and I've been like organizing weekly tournaments for a while. And when the position opened up, I kind of like seeked to be promoted to the position of director so I could organize like bigger stuff and bigger events. And COVID's kind of thrown a wrench into that, but I'm looking forward to all this being over and maybe I'll be able to, organize the big stuff when in-person events come back.
Yeah, hopefully. And moving on to Sydney, why did you want to start a Mario Kart community? As the leader of a new branch in the UBC esports scene, what is your plan to maintain and grow the Mario Kart community within UBC?
All right. So I could easily talk about this for hours because I just love Mario Kart. But the reason I started it is because the Smash people, like Nick and all of them, they do something called Casual Mondays. So on Mondays, we don't do esports. We just do like practice and you play against your friends. And so we also brought up a Wii and we would play Mario Kart Wii every week as well because of how casual it was. And everyone enjoyed it a lot. And we hosted like small little like 15-person tournaments of just the people who showed up. We didn't like advertise it at all. And I enjoyed it so much. And I really wanted to make a power ranking as well for Wii, Mario Kart Wii, just to like see who's the best in British Columbia. So I figured like the best and easiest way to do that would be to start the Mario Kart community, and so that I could host more like legitimate tournaments as well with actual money prizes instead of just playing against your friends. And then my plans for Mario Kart are very big, very large. I obviously intend on being the only person who hosts Mario Kart tournaments ever by hosting 500 simultaneously every day. That's obviously not true. But every year we do something called Reindeer Road, which is like a drinking thing, 19 plus only, but you play Mario Kart. So I'm gonna hopefully, we do that once a year. I'm gonna hopefully increase it to twice a year once we can do stuff like that again. And then I'm gonna be running at least monthly Mario Kart tournaments where you pay like $5 to enter, and then depending on how many people enter, whoever gets first place can win up to like, I don't know, like $70 or $80 just from playing Mario Kart. So I hope to do that, and then I also hope to create larger events with like several hundred people, but that'll be once I really get stuff going. I don't know if I can do that now.
No, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And also, were you planning on doing Mario Kart Wii or more deluxe?
Deluxe is obviously like the more easier game to do because it's the one that you can actually buy.
Yeah.
And Mario Kart Wii, like you can't just go to a store and get the game. But in the Mario Kart community, at least at UBC, we like to call Mario Kart Wii the Smash Melee of Mario Kart.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
So Melee came out such a long time ago, but it's still super popular. It's the same thing with Mario Kart Wii, and me and Nick both prefer Wii over Deluxe. We just like the game better, and since we're the ones that run most of the events, we've decided that we want to have both of them. I kind of just do Mario Kart Deluxe as like a way to get funding, and Mario Kart Wii is like my passion, and it's why I actually started the events.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then
Okay, so for our next question, we can start with Nick again this time. And obviously, the pandemic has had a massive effect on university sports and events. But one of the advantages for online gaming is that obviously there is the option of hosting competitions remotely. Have your respective communities been making that transition of moving competitions to online play? And if so, how has that been affecting you in general?
So yeah, I think both of our communities have moved on to online at this point. We were very used to running in-person stuff, especially with Smash. We had our weeklies every Friday, and it was all in person. It was like a very community-centric event. And it took us to around like midsummer when we started running this bi-weekly series online, which is free to enter. And it's basically been a way to like, keep in touch and keep playing the game as best we can online in this situation without having to be in person.
Okay, and is the gameplay, do you think, like different or similar at all between like
Oh,
online and in person?
it's definitely very different, especially because in a game like Smash, like any level of input lag is very noticeable, and online like naturally has way more input lag than when you're playing in person. So even stuff like basic stuff like which characters are good changes with online. Like just because there's more input lag, certain characters do way better, certain characters get worse. Um, so yeah, like a lot of people don't really take online tournaments super seriously. But it's still a good way to, keep practicing and hopefully keep your skills on point until you're able to play in person again.
Right, okay. And how about you, Sydney? Has online been implemented into the Mario Kart community scene at all?
Yeah, we do a tournament every 2 weeks where people just enter and we play 12 races and then tally up the points afterwards. We didn't start the Mario Kart community until after everything went online, so we didn't really have to transition at all. We just had to create something. But the big difference that I see with online and in person is that online it's way more focused on gameplay than anything else. And personally, when I do esports events and when I'm planning things, I'm really just planning like a social gathering, and video games is kind of like what brings everyone together. So it's a lot harder to create events uh, where you get that same social aspect, because online you only see the gameplay, right? Like you don't see the people. So
Right.
it's really hard to focus on anything other than gameplay when you're only online. So our events are a lot shorter, and there's a lot less fun things going on. I know that when we get to be in person, it'll be a lot more exciting because people can show up and talk to their friends instead of just showing up, doing the game, and then just leaving afterwards, which is what really sucks about online stuff. Is it's just all competition, no fun.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, because like my brother and I actually went to a Smash tournament at UBC, and then it was a lot different because we got to actually see the people there. Like we got to talk to them. Because I'm not that big on Smash, but I agree with you. It is a lot different when you can physically see the person. And then it's not just about gameplay. It's more about like meeting people, just having a fun time. And then when it gets to your matches, then you can really focus on the gameplay. But yeah, like you said, it's a lot different. And so while Super Smash Bros. Is one of the most popular esports worldwide, Sydney, the wider gaming community doesn't generally consider Mario Kart as a proper esport.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? And do you think that could change, especially with events such as the Mario Kart Wii World Cup that happened this summer?
Oh yeah, I'm actually upset because I heard about it like a day after it happened. I would have loved to compete in that, but yeah, the main reason why people don't think Mario Kart is an esport is just because there's a lot of luck stuff. There's a lot of RNG in the game that like you can get really good, but at some point skill doesn't really matter, and it's just like whether you get a cool green shell or a awesome red shell that can win or lose you the game. Whereas like in a fighting game, it's all up to you. No matter what you do, like no matter what happens, it's your fault that it happened. But in Mario Kart, anything can happen, and so you can't really take it as seriously as other games.
Yeah.
And just people don't like RNG in esports, which I totally understand.
Yeah, I guess that would be like if Smash was an esport, but they had items turned on.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like the stages with hazards.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know like a lot of people think Mario Kart is a lot of luck, but you know at the higher end there are players who consistently do well, and they've all got strategies to like use luck to their advantage. But yeah, and so like other esports, I would assume that with games like Smash and Mario Kart, they require a lot of practice. What does your schedule look like so that your skills remain up to standard? And how often do you play your respective games? Would you like to start this time, Nick?
Yeah, sure. To be honest, I haven't played online very much. Like, it's not like I've been really out of practice. So whenever I come back in person, I'm gonna be pretty rusty. But I've still like been playing games casually here and there. I like playing games in person when I get together with friends, stuff like that. But
Yeah, but you haven't been playing much, right?
not much. It's been hard because
Yeah, that's fair.
a big part of it is the social aspect. I really miss being able to, play the game and then go to have dinner with someone afterwards. Like playing just the game, there's something missing in
Yeah.
that situation.
And like you said, the input lag from online does make it a lot different, so it's just not the same experience.
Yeah, that too.
And Sydney, what about you? Because I know you also play Smash a bit as well, I think.
Yeah.
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 So for Mario Kart, just in general, how much do you play for Mario Kart?
When we were still in person and we still went to class, I would hang out at the nest and I'd probably play Mario Kart anywhere from like 4 to 8 hours a day, probably. We have like a little CRT and a couch, and I just walk up and I'd be like, "Where's Mario Kart?" And then they give me the game, and I'm like, "All right," and I sit down and I just play and let people come up and like challenge me to games or something. Because they look at me in the corner. They look at me in the corner. They're like, "That's the Mario Kart girl. That's her. I heard she's really good." And people come up to me. They're like, "I'd like to challenge you." So that's how I get my practice in. But that's in person. And Mario Kart Wii it has online, but it's like a mod that you have to get. It's not very highly accessible. So I don't play it as much as when I'm at home. But definitely when school starts again and we can all go to the nest or at least hang out as friends, I'm definitely going back up to that many hours a day in Mario Kart.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah. Okay. So I would assume that you both have played your fair share of games in the past. Starting with Nick again, what was your history with video games been like before you decided Smash was your calling?
My first video game console was the GameCube. I forget what year it was, but I was really young. My first game ever was Mario Party 7. And I've been a huge Mario Party fan ever since. There's unfortunately not an esports community around Mario Party because that's even more RNG dependent.
Right. Yeah. I assume there'd be a lot of raging in that.
But I've been competitively involved in Smash Brothers since I was, let me think, I was like 12 or something with Brawl. I went to my first tournament, and I remember this guy taught me how to chain grab as Falco.
Oh
And
broken tactics in a brawl.
yeah, so I've been involved in the community since forever, and getting to organize tournaments was just something I started doing kind of like to give back to the community when I arrived here in Canada. That's when I like really got involved fully. And I decided Smash was my calling. I don't know when, because it happened when I was really young, but the moment I was like, yeah, I really want to dedicate myself to this was probably when I came to UBC and I just met this really friendly, welcoming community and started going to these in-person tournaments and everything.
Okay. All right. And then Sydney, how about you? What has your history with video games been? I know earlier you mentioned to us beforehand that you played like Phineas and Ferb Across the Second Dimension.
Yeah, so it's since I'm a girl, I've got the classic like didn't get into video games until I had male friends, which kind of sucks, but I played my first console was Wii, and I played Mario Kart since it came out in 2008, and I was like instantly obsessed with it, and I played it every day after school, like with my friends. That was like that and like the new Super Mario Bros. Wii or whatever, the red casing game. Those two games are the ones that I played for like from 2008 to 2018. I played pretty much those two games plus like Club Penguin. And then in like 2018, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out and I had male friends and they introduced me to the game and I got into it and we played it every day. I think I got like 600 hours in that game in the first year that it was released. Just because I played it so much, even though I'm not that good at it. And then I came to UBC and I saw that they had a community for playing Super Smash Bros. And I didn't enjoy really like competing in it, but I enjoyed talking to people who liked the game as well. And I joined and I found out that Mario Kart is an esport, and I didn't know it was an esport the entire like 12 years that I've been playing the game. And as soon as I found out that Mario Kart could potentially be an esport, I have started doing everything in my power to make that happen.
Yeah, so just adding on a bit from that, when did you realize that there was like a competitive community, or was that the same time that you found out that it had esport potential?
Yeah, the same time I found out esports potential. Like I saw the first time I was introduced to UBC Esports was at a casual Monday, and they were playing Mario Kart Wii, and I walked up and I'm like, oh my gosh, Mario Kart Wii is my favorite game. I'm like really good at it too. I have like thousands of hours, and they're like, yeah, whatever, okay. And then I played with them, and I was actually good. And then we would start doing like little tiny competitions, and Nick was telling me about how there were uh, like actual tournaments for it and stuff. He's the one who told me about it. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's fair. And just another question. Do you feel as if you have a different mindset when you're playing these games compared to when you're playing other games? Or is your competitive nature just with you the second that you place your hands on a controller? And do you want to start this time, Sydney?
Yeah, so every time I play a video game, if it's not competitive, I will not care at all about what I'm doing. There's this recent game called Among Us. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of the people in the British Columbia Smash community are trying to create an esport community for Among Us. And a lot of my friends are like high level Smash players, and so they're very interested in competition, and so I play with them pretty much every night. And when I play with them, they're all very serious. They keep their competitive mindset even though we're just playing among friends, and I'll just be leaned back in my chair and they'll be like, hey Sydney, I think you're the imposter, because that's like the bad guy in the game, and I'll be like, maybe, I don't know. And then and then they just vote me off and they get mad because I wasn't taking it seriously. But if I'm playing like Mario Kart with someone, I will scream at them if they hit me with a shell, or like if they surpass me, I'll lose my mind because I'm just taking it so seriously. So it's very polarizing.
Yeah, and how about you, Nick?
Uh, I don't know. I feel like I vary between taking competition extremely seriously and not really. Like when I play Mario Kart competitively, sometimes I'll pick a really bad vehicle on purpose just because I feel like having fun. Um, I mean, the characters I pick in Smash Brothers, sometimes I'm known to pick like really bad characters in bracket just because I don't
Yeah,
really
in
feel like
actual in actual
that hard.
tournaments.
Sorry.
Like in tournaments, you'll choose it, not just in like friendly matches.
Yeah, in
Oh,
tournaments, I've taken very poor decisions in terms of picking some characters sometimes. But like the most important aspect about me isn't really the competition. It's just about having fun. And like sometimes, yes, I'm really gonna like hunch over and get really focused and try to win very certain sets. But overall, I feel like I try to enjoy myself more than I try to win. That's just my personal philosophy.
yeah, that's a good lesson to go on.
Okay, and I'm not sure if you're aware, but with the U Sports being temporarily put on hold, Canadian universities have started to offer more support towards their esport teams, such as the addition of esports scholarships and gaming arenas around campus. So, what are your opinions about this from a UBC standpoint? Do you think it's necessary that UBC esports teams receive additional support? And if it's lacking, do you have any recommendations on how the school could offer that support? Sydney, would you like to start for this question?
Um, I don't know how well I can speak to the individual, like the esports teams getting support because I haven't attended a single board meeting for UBC Esports. I don't know how that works, but I
Right.
know that my personal opinion with gaming scholarships is yes, please do that, because when you are trying to become a competitive gamer or trying to go into esports, not even playing the video games, it's very hard to do that, to do as best as you can and to help further your career in that, and also like work another job to make money for it, because usually when you want to do a career, you'll do a student job like in that sector, you know, so you'll get job experience and money at the same time. But it's very hard to do that with video games, especially with collegiate esports, because it's very well known that when you're in collegiate esports, you're essentially working, if you're working at a bit higher up, you're essentially working like full time for zero pay, just so that you can have the joy of working in esports. So I think that gaming scholarships would really help with lessening the burden that students, the financial burden at least, that students face when they're trying to take esports more seriously.
Okay. And how about you, Nick? How do you think that more support for esport teams is necessary?
Uh, I know it would definitely be appreciated. Um, like a lot of us are dedicating a very long time, like not just to playing, but to organizing these events, and it's like almost like a job, really. And balancing that with student life can be really difficult.
Right.
And any form of support that UBC could give us would be very much appreciated because yeah, like it's hard to balance out student life with playing the game and making these events happen and living a whole other social life in this environment.
Yeah, and especially since UBC does give a lot of course load as well, so
Yeah,
it's a rough
definitely.
balance.
Okay, so now I guess to be more general, Smash and Mario Kart obviously have very large fan bases. However, the thing is, almost all of these people don't play competitively. Half of them don't even know there is a competitive scene to it. Will you two be holding any tournaments that are less competitive to try to target these more casual players and potentially add to your communities? Nick, would you like to start for this one?
Well, we do hold these casual Monday events back when we had in-person events, um, where we just welcome players and we played on with items and stuff like that. And then there's like more casual events like Reindeer Road for Mario Kart as well. Um, in terms of like what we're doing right now, um, the events we have like bi-weeklies, we've made them into a more like casual, less competitive thing because we found that a lot of players get frustrated on in an online environment, playing super competitively, which is why we don't have any prize pool. It's free to enter. So that's a fairly casual experience, though like we still don't have items and stuff like that.
Right. And then
Um,
how would these events be like advertised? Like I know when I was on campus, sometimes I would see like a Smash poster hanging around. right? With like online, how would these tournaments be advertised?
Well, these online tournaments, that's been a struggle in advertising them because all we can really do is promote them in social media. And when you promote them in social media, you're reaching out people that tend to already have a more competitive mindset. So it's hard to kind of like diversify who our message is reaching.
Right. It's a
And
lot more difficult to like reach like new people
yeah,
using
it's definitely easier to reach newer people through like posters and stuff like that when in-person tournaments existed. But since not many people are on campus, I don't think distributing posters at this point would be very effective, you know.
Right.
It's
That's totally true. Okay, and Sydney, how about you? Will you be holding any tournaments that are less competitive to try to bring in more people from the casual scene?
Yeah, because I know you are trying to start tournaments with like prize pools, but I guess this is for in the future because you haven't been really able to start them yet. But would you be interested in holding more tournaments in the future that are targeted to those that are less competitive?
I know that the online stuff that I do now, I open up the room like 30 minutes before the tournament starts just for everyone to like race around and hang out a bit. And I also make sure to make it very clear that when I make the tournaments that it's like all skill levels, anyone can join. Like even if you've never played Mario Kart before, you could totally play with us. And uh, we have like a very small community right now just because not that many people know about it because it's been exclusively online. But like the 20 or so people that we have that play with us, they all like are friendly with each other. And whenever someone comes in and is like, "Hey, I'm really stuck at Mario Kart, but I really want to play with people. Can I play?" And we all say, "Yeah, of course," and then let them play. So I think that I'm just gonna keep that attitude up as it goes. And because Mario Kart is very like non-competitive on a grand scale, I think that the casual stuff will outweigh the competitive stuff just because of demand for those events. And I think I'll like make it so that the competitive stuff is like a really big event and that people know about it like months in advance, and there's like a lot of planning that goes into it just to make it a bit better. And as for like advertising my events, I literally just post something on, I'll just post something on my Twitter and ask people to sign up. And I usually get around like 15 people that way. And then the stragglers or people who are already in UBC Esports and they just happen to see like a little notice posted on our Discord or something like that.
Yeah, that's pretty good for advertising. And then one last question for you guys. Do you have any advice for players who are getting into the competitive scene of esports? For example, what struggles did you have in the beginning, or what were things that you wish someone else had told you beforehand? Do you want to start, Sydney?
Yeah, so I got into esports like 11 months ago, less than a year ago.
Okay, that's
Um,
very recent.
it is very recent. And if you want to get into esports, the best thing for you to do is just look up like name of your game. So if you want to look up Smash, you just look up Smash Esports and then your location, so Vancouver. And then a lot of stuff will be able to come up for that. The best place to look specifically, if you already kind of know what you're looking for, is definitely Facebook, because people post like a lot of event postings on Facebook, and it's like the best place to go. Uh, and definitely like join whatever local thing that you have. Don't wait for like the big events to start stuff because it'll be very overwhelming. Just go to like the stuff that uh, is like a 15-minute drive away or something, and it'll have like 20 or less people. That way you can like get a closer connection with those people, and they'll be able to, you'll be like become friends and feel like you're actually part of the community when you join.
Yeah, okay. And how about you, Nick?
yeah, I definitely agree with Sydney that if you're like just getting into any esport, find a community because once you find a community and you make friends in that community, it becomes a really fulfilling experience rather than just a like flat out competitive one. Um, So yeah, like just look up, go to locals instead of just like large events. Many people only go to big events, and I think they're missing the opportunity to go to smaller locals and just, hang out with people like friends in a not as competitive environment. Um, it's been a very fulfilling experience, and I think everybody should experience that.
Okay, that's fair. And that will wrap up this interview. Thank you so much, Sydney and Nick, for coming onto the show with us. This has been Alan and Byron Wang from the CITR Sports Collective, joined by Sydney and Nick from the UBC Esports Association. It's been a fun time, and thank you all for listening.